Today, let's make a low-fat, starch solution compliant potato salad. All right, to get started, we're going to use 3 of these potatoes. You're looking for about 2 to 2.5 pounds of potatoes. And potatoes are kind of an odd shape, and they can be a little bit dangerous to try to cut. See that? So you want to hold it and cut off about a 1/2 inch slice off one side, and just lay it on that flat side. And now you can cut off 1/2 inch slices across the whole thing. Pretty simple. And then we just cube it up. Looking for about like that. 1/2 inch, 2/3 of an inch or so. Okay, we have our potatoes cut up. In case you're wondering, yes, I leave the skins on. Why not? I mean, it's extra nutrients and it's extra work to remove them. So put them into a pot, one that is large enough to hold them all, plus some water. And now, the most crucial part of boiling potatoes is put some water in there, but just cover them with the water. You don't want it to be like drowning. But be careful, because it splashes everywhere. I was trying to be all delicate and move it around. Doesn't work. Just make sure they're covered, something like that. Then put this on the stove, bring it to a boil, and after about 8 minutes, you want to start checking. They should be fork tender. I'll show you what that looks like in a sec. Okay, when I say fork tender, this is what I mean. A fork should go into it fairly easily with just a very minor amount of resistance. Any more than that, see how it's starting to split? That's fine. Any more than that, and it's going to be overcooked and kind of get mushy in your salad. Any less than that, it's going to be crunchy, and nobody wants crunchy potato salad. Okay, once they're ready, strain that all out. I put them right back into the pan and just set this to the side. Let all that steam come out. See that steam? That is water that would end up in your potato salad, and you don't want that. All right, potato salad wouldn't be potato salad without a sauce. And for this, the star of the show is going to be Mori New Silken Tofu. Extra firm. Because if we look at the back, 1.5 grams of fat per serving. Some of the others, even more new, are actually a little more fat, like 2 grams. So, hey, it's a 1/2 gram of fat, but we're going to be using the whole thing. There's 4 servings. So that means 6 grams of fat from this tofu in the entire batch of potato salad. That's pretty amazing. But these things are weird to get open. Like they have these little wings here, right? And then you're supposed to cut and cut. But there's a little trick. If you open up the bottom, cut that off and just let the liquid drain out. It's okay. And then I cut off this wing and then this wing and then cut straight across this. By the way, these are my food shears. They are only for food and they get washed every single time. The reason I cut the bottom though is so that it comes right out in the next step. And that next step is to put it into your blender. I'm using a Vitamix today because it's probably the best blender I've ever had. And see that? It all comes out nice and clean. That's where that extra little gap down there in the bottom, see that? That hole allows it all to come right out. Oop, there's a little piece. Got to get every piece. Okay, there's other stuff that has to go in here, though, and Derek is going to start guiding us through that.
1 tablespoon apple cider vinegar. 1 tablespoon lemon juice.
1 tablespoon of the only mustard that should exist, and that is Golden Spicy Brown. I'm just kidding. Of course, you can use whatever mustard you like. I just happen to really like Golden's.
1 teaspoon garlic powder and 1 teaspoon onion powder. 1 tablespoon nutritional yeast.
And then we're going to have to add a little bit of water. Now, the amount of water may vary. Today, I'm going to start with just a couple of tablespoons of water, give that a little bit of a blend, and see how it goes. If I need to, I can add more water. Just do like a tablespoon at a time until you get a nice thick consistency, something like almost a little bit of a looser mayonnaise.
A super trick for blending in your Vitamix when you're doing the extra firm Mori New Tofu is slow and low. You want to make sure that there's a vortex remaining in the center. Otherwise, it's going to create an air pocket and stop blending.
All right, so this is the consistency we're looking for. See, it's kind of like mayo, but a little tiny bit looser than mayonnaise. You could actually use this as mayo if you want to. It's got a little bit more spices than I would normally do for a mayo. But
if for some reason you can't find the extra firm version of Mori New, then you may find you need even less water with the lighter versions of Mori New.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, next I'm going to need 1/2 an onion, so I'm just going to cut this onion. And for this, I'm going to do a fairly small dice, not too big, just nice little pieces, because too much onion can be too strong in a potato salad. So maybe like 1/4 inch dice. And let's just put that right into our bowl. And 1 stalk of celery. I don't really want to put the leaves and stuff in there, so I'm just going to chop them off, cut off the end, cut off the really big other end. And then what I like to do, though, is I'm going to split this from about there all the way down one side, and then from about there down the other side. That way I have smaller pieces towards the end, and I can just, do that. And now I'll just chop it up. Celery in the bowl. Okay, next up is something that not everybody puts into their potato salad, but we do around here, and that is sweet pickle relish. I'm going to do about a 1/4 cup, maybe a little bit more. I usually eyeball most of this stuff. So let me just get some of that in there. We like a lot of it. That's more than a 1/4 cup, I'll admit. And then our potatoes. And they have cooled slightly, but they are still warm. And that's important because you don't want to cook the vegetables that are in there, but you do want everything to stick to it. And the starches stay activated by heat. I'm going to give this a preliminary mix before we add the sauce, just to get everything distributed. And once we have it mixed up a little bit, it's time to sauce. And for that, I'm eyeballing it again. I'm going to probably use all of this, if not most of it. So I'm just going to get a bunch in there, and then I'm going to start mixing it up. Okay, so looking at this, some people might say that that's sauced enough. I don't know. I think I'd like another couple dollops. By the way, this spatula is perfect in these Vitamix blenders. Derica found this, didn't you?
Actually, Dad found it.
Your dad found this.
Yeah.
Helps to get all around the blades and everything when you're cleaning it out. I never do that, so here. And I'm just going to mix the rest of this up. That looks pretty good. I used almost all of that sauce, by the way. And your potatoes will vary a little bit in size and all that, so don't get too worried about it because, you could put that on a sandwich. And once this is all mixed up, cover it with plastic and put it in the fridge. We, however, are going to take some pictures and some video of this, and we'll be back to show you how it tastes in just a second. Best part of every cooking video right now, we get to taste it. I've made this several times recently, partially as a test to make this video, and partially just because we wanted it. Okay, this tastes just like I remember potato salad tasting like in the before times. That's the easiest way to say it.
Yeah, it's potato salad. I mean, it's just fantastic. The potatoes are cooked to perfection. The crunch from the celery and the onion is just a nice little pop. And then that sauce is so rich, so creamy. It's perfect.
Yeah. So, summer's here. Make some potato salad. Have it with, your favorite foods. Bring it to parties. Impress your friends.
Yeah.
No one will think this is not regular potato salad.
That's right.
It's amazing. As always, guys, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time on
The Bistro.